Greetings and salutations, Dave, or I guess technically I should call you Dead on Dave. This is Christopher Daniels.
Hey everyone, it's the Native American Tonka. Want to give a big shout out to Dead on Dave.
Dave, this is Leon White, Big Van Vader.
Dead on Dave. What's up, man? It's the coach.
Hello, this is the hardcore legend Mick Foley, and I know when I want to keep up with the latest in wrestling news from around the world, I check in with Dead on Dave Productions. He covers a wide variety of wrestling topics, including the career of the hardcore legend. Don't miss it. Dead on Productions. Yeah.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, Dead on Dave, and we are live coming at you midnight here in Germany, getting ready to talk about all kinds of things in the realm of wrestling and sports, but really just wrestling tonight and combative sports, because the big headlines, the thing that everybody's talking about is the shocking news that broke over the weekend, amongst its own controversy in the way that it was broken. We'll talk about that as well. Brock Lesnar returns to the UFC, the place that he did not quite conquer fully. He did conquer it, but there's a lot of buts to his reign in UFC. Yes, he won the title. Yes, he did. He beat Randy Couture when Randy was 157 years old. Look, what Lesnar did was very impressive. But let's pump the brakes on, when he got into real competition, he got smoked a little bit. But, of course, that does have a lot to do with the diverticulitis. So he has a whole lot to prove to not only himself, but I think a lot of, fight fans as far as legitimacy goes. So there was so many reasons for him to return to the UFC. And I was kind of expecting for it to happen at some point. I'm a little bit surprised that it's happening already, especially after a very successful run. And then, so close to SummerSlam, which he is going to be a part of. I think the most surprising is the cooperation between WWE and UFC. Really, the cooperation between the two is pretty impressive. And we'll see how it goes and how long paradise is good. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what everything means. We're going to talk about his opponent for UFC 200, Mr. Mark Hunt. I believe after he fights Mark Hunt, he'll be taking on his cousin Mike Hunt. Anyway, I stole that joke and I fucked it up. All right. So before we get into all of that, I want to say a big thank you to everybody that commented on the video that I dropped earlier today, where I talked about weight loss and battling weight, and then I went shirtless and showed you the goods underneath. It was not an easy thing for me to do. The video is not about trying to get advice, because I know how to lose weight. I've lost a lot of weight in my life, a lot. And I've gained a lot of weight in my life. It's about accountability. I need to know that I have something out there that's going to make me want to continue to not break my diet, because I get hurting, my pain level go up, and the first thing I'm like, well, give me cake, it'll make everything better. And it does, and then I feel guilty and terrible, and then I want to kill myself. It's just awful. So I just really want to do something that is poignant. And I've already had so many people reach out to me and talk about doing things with me and all this. There's virtually no goddamn negative comments on that video, which is incredible. So just thank you guys for the incredible support. It means the world. So I just wanted to say thank you guys. It does mean a lot. And also thank you for getting us to almost to the precipice of 2,500 subs. I think we can get there this week, maybe with the proper motivations to the Twitterverse and everything. If you guys go ahead and do me a favor and like this video and hit Twitter and hit all the social media areas and let them know that you're watching the copious fat man. Maybe we can get to 2,500 tonight if we have an amazing Raw. Who knows? So, all right. But back to that. Big shout out to everybody in chat. Chris Payne, Chris Cressa, The Drep, Joe Martin, Joseph Blunt, Diamond Boy. We got all kinds of people up in here. Big shout out. Thank you guys for joining me live right here on Dead on Dave Productions. All right. So kicking off the show, just like I said, Brock Lesnar, UFC 200. He was at UFC 100. Why not UFC 200? And the big news broke during a pretty damn successful UFC 199, which saw Michael Bisping become champion. Holy God. You know the world is in a very weird place. And Michael fucking Bisping is a UFC champion. Holy shit. No knock on Bisping, but I would have lost money had I, if somebody would have been like, I'll bet you Michael Bisping will be a champion someday. I'll be like, fuck, I'll take that bet. So all that stuff happened. And then right before the show, Ariel Helwani, who is one of the, as far as combat sports journalists go and writers, he's one of my favorites. He seems like a really, really nice guy, really good guy. He broke the news. He did his job. He broke the news. He found out that Brock Lesnar was coming back. He broke that news. He also broke the Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz fight announcement for 202. He broke them both before UFC got a chance to. UFC unleashed their little video a little bit later on that had Brock Lesnar in it. But while all this was going on, Ariel Helwani was removed from UFC, his credentials were taken away. He was removed from the building, and he and two others were informed that they are banned for life. Banned for life from the UFC. It's an incredible thing, and the ramifications of it, people who want to scream about this and all this, that's fine. But the biggest thing is the news itself. So let's not get lost in all the political ramifications and whether or not it was just and whether or not it was a First Amendment thing, which it wasn't, by the way, because Ariel Helwani can still give his opinions, which is the only thing freedom of the press actually fucking protects, is the right to have your opinions, not to camp out on somebody's fucking lawn, not to break into their basement, not to bribe somebody to get some fucking news from them. No, that's not what it protects. It protects you to write and voice your opinions, which he still has every capability of doing. And if the UFC does not want him covering their events, that's completely fine. Chris Cressa donated $2. It's going to be interesting to see what type of deal WWE and UFC negotiated. Now, it's very interesting, Chris, that you bring that up, because that's the crazy thing that's happening here is everyone's like, how is this even happening? Why is it happening? Well, the big thing is Brock has always been under contract to UFC. He never wasn't. He was still able to go work at UFC whenever he wanted to. All he had to do was get a little sign off from Vince. And here's the reality. Vince would be stupid not to do this. He'd be dumb not to do this. So many eyes are going to be on UFC 200. They were already, and now they're even more eyeballs. It's a month before SummerSlam. Is there some danger to Brock getting his block knocked off by Mark Hunt? Mark Hunt, yes. Yes, he could get hurt. Will he? I don't think so. Look, I understand that Hunt is a tough son of a bitch, that he has beat some guys, but he's, even that resurgence that he had, and remember, Hunt is 42 years old. He had a resurgence a few years ago where he was winning fights, but he's far removed from that guy. He's won his last two fights. One of them was against a Frank Mir who looks like me. So it's not that impressive. Brock is going to have something to prove. If Brock has to lay on this guy, then he's going to lay on this guy. I don't think that it's going to be that big of a deal as far as interfering between WWE and UFC working relationship. I think that this is just kind of works out in every aspect of it. And it's going to be pretty cool to see what happens, man. I mean, if this is going to lead to more things down the line, that is something that I'm wondering. If we're going to see more ventures, we saw the Ronda Rousey thing. There's all kinds of talks of Conor McGregor. I mean, there's all of these things. Now, the question is going to be, who's going to get pissed off first? Because Vince McMahon and Dana White, I don't give a shit what they said. They don't like each other. They don't. They don't like when people compare the two entities. Obviously, UFC probably dislikes a little bit more than WWE, who's always striving for legitimacy. That's why they bring in these UFC guys. But this is not unprecedented in the wrestling game. Now, if you look at it, TNA has done this for a long time with a few different MMA fighters. They made a direct partnership with Bellator, and freaking Bobby Lashley still is going off and taking fights and then coming back, and every time he comes back, he wins the championship belt for TNA. They've done it with King Mo. They've done it with a few guys. So this is not an unprecedented move. It is, however, the biggest. It is the biggest. And Diamond Boy says, I thought Brock retired from the USA. Yes, from the UFC. Yes, he made an announcement and said his door was closed, but he still had fights left on the contract. He still had, the contract was never null and void. It's not like a NFL thing where you file your retirement paperwork and then you go away. That's not exactly how it works. It's a little bit different. As long as you could pass a board from whatever state commission, athletic commission that you're going to, if it's Nevada, if you can pass that one, you're licensed. You can fight. And if you're already under contract, you're good to go, which he is. And it doesn't hurt the fact that he has open door policies with both Dana White and Vince McMahon. So it's pretty good stuff, man. I think this is a positive all the way across the board until it's not. That's the thing. This is a positive thing right now, and it will be right up until the point it's not. And it could be at UFC 200 if Brock Lesnar gets hurt. Now, I'm not talking blowing out a knee or anything like that. If Mark Hunt hits him with one of those shots right in the temple and puts his ass down and irreparably damages him, then there will be a problem. But I'm sure all of that has already been talked by many a lawyer, probably Jewish, because those are the best. And Heyman was probably screaming in the background as well because, he's like my people. So he's good to go. As Chris Crescent just put in the chat, yes, Punk's UFC debut, it looks like to be all set in stone at UFC 202. I'm still not sold on it because I believe that Punk wants no part of it and something else will happen between now and then, but we will see. Diamond Boy says, so I wonder if Brock is going to be at SummerSlam. See, that's the thing. Right now, by Brock's own words and by WWE's own words, who have now released many statements on this, yes, he is scheduled to be at WWE SummerSlam. He's going to be there unless he gets hurt. If he gets hurt, then he cannot be cleared with... which is funny because the New York State Athletic Commission actually retweeted some information stating that, yes, Brock can do both events. He can do UFC 200, and a month later he can do SummerSlam as long as he is cleared by the New York Athletic Commission. So as long as he's able to pass that, he's good to go, which he should unless something wonky goes on, which is a possibility because it's the fight game, but not a huge possibility. The Jordan Turner McGregor versus Diaz rematch is happening at 202, not 200. Yeah, it is. It's at 202. Yeah, I know that. McGregor Diaz is at 202, and with the Punk fight also at 202. It looks like Punk will also be at 202, but Lesnar is at 200, and that's the thing. Now the question is, did Lesnar need to be on this card? I don't know. I don't know if this fight... Yes, it's Brock Lesnar, and he can fight me, and it would be a draw. Did he need to be added to this card that already has, I believe, 3 fucking title fights? And I believe Jose Aldo's on that card. It's crazy. No, it's... Wait, who else is on that card? Is it Aldo and Edgar? I think. I believe. You got Jones and Cormier, Corm, and you have the women. You have Misha Tate. So I mean, you had all kinds of good stuff there. So that's going to be pretty crazy, man. So the question is, did this need to be on there? Well, whether or not it needed to be doesn't matter, because make it bigger. It's UFC 200, which is the biggest event, until UFC 250, and then that'll be the biggest, and then 300 will be the biggest, because that's how these things go. So why not make it as big as humanly possible? And it should be a lot of fun. It should be a crazy event, and I'm just wondering where this goes from here. Now, one of the things that has been talked about is, what will the UFC do to compensate WWE? Well, one of the things that we know is huge advertising. Look, if SummerSlam is on the Octagon somewhere, don't be shocked about it. Don't be shocked about it. But it's going to be pretty crazy. Cormac O'Connor says, Lesnar should have gotten Struve instead of Hunt. I'd be more excited for Hunt, though. But I'm more excited for Hunt, though. Yeah, you should be excited for Hunt. But the interesting thing about this is, if you give him a Struve, I think there's a good possibility Lesnar loses the fight. I think that they gave him the fight that he's most likely to win. Of all the guys that were kind of in the running for it, Josh Barnett was in the running. I think Barnett would have gave him a hell of a fight. There was the possibility of, what's his name? Oh, Shane Carwin, who wanted a rematch, and he's retired. That probably would have been a relatively easy victory for Lesnar, too, even though Carwin almost had him in that fight, if you go back and remember. Excuse me. But Mike Hunt, I keep going Mike because Mike Hunt. Mark Hunt is probably the easiest fight for him. Now, the interesting thing to me is, if somebody would have gotten hurt, if another one of these mega fights that are happening on that card were to go off, why not try to push for Lesnar and Fedor? That's the announcement I thought was going to be made. I got to be honest. With Lesnar coming on ESPN this morning, I swear to God, I thought with him sitting there with Hannah Storm, Fedor was getting ready to walk right out on the set. That would have been awesome. That would have been awesome. How cool would that have been? Fedor and Brock Lesnar. Holy God, would that have been cool. That would have been really, really neat. But alas, it did not happen. So it is what it is in that situation. And we are getting Brock Lesnar and Mark Hunt. So now the question becomes, who does he fight at SummerSlam? And how do they work all of this in? Look, Mark Hunt is also the number 8 ranked heavyweight. If Lesnar beats him, does Lesnar, get in line for a title shot? Does he get into that word? Does he get in a conversation? Does he want to? Because he was very evasive when Hannah Storm asked that question, because WWE has stated this is a one-off. We're going to give you one, Brock. Go ahead and go out a champion, go out a winner, whatever you got to do to make peace with your past. But this is a one-off, and I believe that that's probably the reality, because if I'm also not mistaken, this was the final fight that was still on the UFC contract. I'd have to look that up to be sure, but I'm fairly certain that that is true. So, pretty crazy to think about the possibilities. But could Lesnar want to go back and continue to fight full time? Would the WWE be okay with that? Would they allow him to do something very similar to what Bobby Lashley does? I don't know. I think that they would kind of be silly not to, as long as Brock can stay fit. Here's the thing about it too. Brock's not exactly killing himself in the ring most of the time. I mean, he's had a few matches in WWE since his return that have really pushed him physically, but most of the time, he's just suplexing motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? That's about it. Joseph Blunt says, WWE have been clear that it's a one-off. Seriously doubt he's going to have more than one fight. Here's the thing on that. You think Brock Lesnar gives a shit what the WWE says if it's a one-off? I don't think he gives a shit. Brock is such a big draw that he's going to do what he wants to do. If Brock wants to go and fight in the UFC again, I guarantee it'll happen, especially if this is a big success. If Brock, best case scenario, Brock knocks out Mark Hunt. The next month, he takes on some big name at SummerSlam, wins there as well. Numbers for the network go crazy. Vince McMahon's jacking off in his office. Streamers are falling from the heavens. All kinds of crazy things are happening. That's best case scenario, and it's really not far out of the realm of possibility. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's get to the phone calls, man. Let's take some calls and get your opinion on Brock Lesnar, UFC, WWE, the whole situation. Call in now on Skype, David Vancura, DAVIDVANCURA. And, of course, use the number 702-751-2902. And getting us kicking off tonight is Joe Martin. What's up, man? What you got for me?
What's going on, Dave? I just want to say something. I think I really know who Brock might face at SummerSlam if he doesn't get into the UFC 200.
And who will that be?
Dean again. He might fight Dean Ambrose again for a rematch, and I think Dean might get it.
No, look, when I'm going to disagree with you, because when Lesnar does lose, it won't be at SummerSlam. It'll be at WrestleMania. That is when Brock Lesnar will lose. It will be at a WrestleMania. You don't have all this build. You don't have all these guys who have been fed to him. Isn't it kind of funny that nobody says, well, Lesnar got him fed to him? Like, Cena beats anybody. And they're like, oh, they fed Cena again. But Brock has destroyed everybody, and no one's like, well, they just fed him to Brock, because people like Brock. So, it's kind of funny that nobody mentions that, but I do think when Brock does finally put somebody over in a loss and a big marquee matchup, it will be clean, and it will be a WrestleMania. Anything else seems like a waste at this point.
Yeah. Has he ever been pinned ever since Cena at Extreme Rules? I don't think he ever.
He hasn't been pinned. No, he hasn't been pinned. The Undertaker match ended in controversy, but he has not been pinned.
That was garbage. Anyway, I want to go to I can't wait to watch him fight at UFC 200 because he's not sick anymore, and he was sick when he was fighting last time, and I feel like he's going to rip this guy to shreds. And it's going to be hysterical.
Well, look, the thing about UFC is anybody can get caught. Brock is not great in stand-up. Mark Hunt, he can throw some bombs. If he catches Lesnar, he could put Lesnar out. Will he? Probably not. I got a feeling Lesnar's going to wrap his ass up fairly quickly and take him to the ground. And if he does, Hunt's dead. Hunt's dead.
How did he lose his title? Didn't he make one move and he caught him, and then I forgot who he was fighting. He made a move and the other guy caught him and then just mowed him to the ground.
It was Velasquez, I believe. Velasquez ran through him, didn't he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was him.
I think Velasquez ran through him, and then he got the shit kicked out of him by literally fucking what's his name? Oh God.
He was bleeding after it, I remember.
I forgot his name. Somebody just said it in the chat a few minutes ago, too. Big dude. God, with a funny name.
I'm trying to remember, too.
I forgot his name. God damn it. He kicked him right in the stomach. He kicked him right in the diverticulitis. Overeem kicked him right in the diverticulitis. And he went down. He went down badly. So, look, if I'm Mark Hunt, I am punching him in the stomach, man. I'm going to test that stomach. I am going to punch that man in the stomach as hard as I can and as many times as I can and see if he goes down. We'll see. It's going to be interesting, man. What else you got for me, Joe?
Yeah, I remember that when Lesnar got his ass kicked. Undertaker talked Mark Calloway, where he was talking shit, and Lesnar looked like he was going to kick his ass in the stands.
So we going to do this, Brock? Are we going to do this? And Brock's like, dude, you were only supposed to, it was so funny because it was an obvious work, but I could see Brock's eyes. Brock's like, motherfucker, you were only supposed to do this if I won. You're not supposed to do this if I lose. And Undertaker's like, we going to do this thing, Brock? Are we going to settle the score? Because I'm the Lord of Darkness, Brock, and I'm going to take your soul. And Brock's like, fuck off. I just lost. Eat my ginormous fucking Canadian, well, he lives in Canada now, my fucking Midwest Minnesota dick, because that's what Brock was really saying. I couldn't believe that he did that. It felt like it should not have happened. I mean, he just lost. Why would Taker do that?
Yeah, no. What happened was he goes, are you, what did he say? He goes, oh, are you ready? He
said, are we going to do this? He said, are we going to do this?
And Lesnar said nothing.
And Lesnar said nothing.
walked away. And I loved Lesnar back then. He had the whole entire beard thing going for him. He looked sexy, no homo.
Well, look, man, that diverticulitis is no fucking joke. Let me tell you, man. Tommy C has diverticulitis, by the way. He not as severe as Brock did, because Brock had like 2/3 of his intestines fucking removed. But Tommy C has diverticulitis. That's how he lost,
right? He got kicked there?
It's no joke, man.
Oof, I wonder how it felt, because he got his ass kicked by getting hit in the stomach. Oof.
Overeem kicked him right in the fucking suck bucket, and it was not good. It was not good.
I wonder, it's gone, right? Is his disease,
it's never gone. It's never gone. He will live with it for the rest of his life, but you have bouts of it. It comes back and it affects you. It's like herpes. It's always there, but it doesn't always affect you. And he changed his diet. He changed everything about his lifestyle, and he is better now than he was then. So,
yeah.
Even at 39, this dude is an athlete of unprecedented proportions, man. That's why everybody's so attracted to Brock Lesnar. That's the attraction. That's the attraction, because he is something that you just don't. He's Bo Jackson. He's Muhammad Ali. He's these type of guys that he's an anomaly. He's something that shouldn't fucking be, but is. A guy that size should not be as fast. A guy that size should not be as agile. I mean, Muhammad Ali, it's very fitting, that he just died and everything, but there's an appropriate connection here, because everybody always talked about Muhammad Ali is a middleweight in a fucking heavyweight's body. The way that he was able to move, it's unheard of. So, pretty incredible stuff.
That brings in the question, Dave. If Lesnar loses and doesn't get injured and still fights at SummerSlam, wouldn't that kill his character as being a beast?
No, because you can work it. Because you can work it. You can have somebody call him out for that very reason, and all Lesnar's got to do is come in the next night on Raw or whatever and put a whole bunch of bitches through tables, and it's fine. Because wrestling's fake. It's not real, and because we know that, it makes it okay. And that's the beauty of Lesnar. That's the beauty of Lesnar, because he transcends fake, real. Everything he does looks like it hurts. So it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, he's metaphorically, how they call him the beast, he literally is a beast. He's insane. Any human being in their right mind would shit their pants standing next to him.
Yeah, I agree.
I would.
All right, Joe. Hey, you got anything else, man?
No, that's it, Dave. I'm just a little pissed from last night because I lost in fantasy.
Yeah, well, you suck. What can I say? Take it easy. Joe Martin, everybody. Joe Martin. Big shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you guys for watching so far. We're having a good time. We're talking Brock Lesnar. We're about to switch over and talk a little bit about Monday Night Raw tonight, which I think is a very important Monday Night Raw. But before we get to that, we're going to take some more of your calls. If you have calls, comments on Brock Lesnar, on the WWE situation, on the UFC situation, on CM Punk coming back, finally looks like he's going to be fighting at UFC 202. If you want to talk about Ariel Helwani, let's go ahead and talk about it. Anything you want to talk about, call in now. And we're already getting that call, so let's go ahead and take it. Joseph Blunt, you're live with Dead on Dave. What you got? But before you tell me what you got, everybody in the chat, make sure that if you're here and you're enjoying, hit the like button. We're trying to get to 2,500 subs tonight, and you can make it happen. Make sure you hit that like button. Help the channel out. Joseph Blunt, what you got for me? Bubbly, bubbly, bubbly.
I'm just thinking more about who his SummerSlam opponent's going to be. I'm thinking either Randy Orton or maybe AJ Styles.
I'll kill myself if it's Randy Orton. I hope it's not AJ Styles. AJ hopefully will still be in a program with John Cena. Hopefully.
Possibly, but I'm just thinking who they could put with him, and I don't know. Randy kind of springs to mind.
Hold on. I gotta call somebody out. JMKK360. Guys, just go to my channel live, WWE streaming, 100% true. Well, guess what? What you're doing right now is promoting a fucking crime. Congratulations, you fucking idiot. I can't, the nerve of you coming into my channel and saying, come to my fucking channel, fuck this fat guy, come to my channel and watch me illegally stream Raw for all of you. What the fuck is wrong with people? Oh my God. Look, I'm not a YouTube cop. I don't get on people what you want to do, but you're going to fucking break the law? Okay, I can even deal with that. But you're going to do it on my channel? You're going to promote on my fucking channel? Have you lost your mind? Are you crazy? Are you handicapped? Do you have Mongo inside of you? Do you know who I am? Holy God. Elbow drops all day fucking long. Joseph Blunt, go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, what a twazic. But no, I don't know. I mean, the thing with Randy is, I agree with you, but I think the WWE kind of thinks that would be a big fight, because
I don't know.
I don't think they're going to give him Dean. All of the top guys are going to kind of
what they can do. I'll tell you exactly what they can do, and it's so fucking easy, man. It's so simple, and it works on so many levels. Whether he wins or loses, he comes back to WWE shortly after, and he's like, I'm just here to let everybody know that I'm done. Paul Heyman, he's obviously talking. He's like, I'm done. My client, Brock Lesnar, has beaten everybody in the UFC world and in the WWE world. There's nobody here. There is no challenge. He is the beast. There is nothing left to conquer. And then, din, 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 din. Shinsuke Nakamura, motherfuckers. That's who he should be fighting at SummerSlam. I don't want to wait. I don't want to waste Shinsuke. I want Shinsuke up for SummerSlam against Brock Lesnar. That's what I want. Mind's blown. Dave just blew everybody's fucking mind.
Yeah, you talk about a fucking draw. That match would fucking draw.
That match would draw. And they have a history.
Brock was in Japan.
And he primarily, basically, only fought Shinsuke Nakamura. And Shinsuke was so enamored with Brock that he went to Minnesota and trained with him. It is the most perfect. Who else is left? Like, I mean, really, you put him back in there with Ambrose, with Orton.
I wouldn't put him back in there with Ambrose.
Let's do something revolutionary. Let's do something that matters. And honestly, how much longer is Lesnar going to go? Because Lesnar, I don't think this is going to be a one-off in UFC. If he wins, I think this will be something more than that. But Lesnar, Shinsuke, make it fucking happen, because that would be big. You want to talk about new era? That's fucking new era.
That would be insane. I'm not sure if Shinsuke will be up by then. But if he is, that would just be amazing.
There's no point in him not being up by then. I mean, that's the thing. Like, you could go ahead and you can have him beat Aries, which I think he's going to. And you can have him take on Joe, which is fine. But either way, Shinsuke is going to be in the arena that night, because he's either going to be taking on Samoa Joe in the main event at Brooklyn, at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, or he should be. That's it. Those are the two matches that Shinsuke needs to be involved in, either for the championship against Samoa Joe or Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. One of the two. That's it.
I think he'll be for the championship against Samoa Joe.
I'm kind of hoping that doesn't happen. But the only problem is who would be in there.
On that point, though, if Shinsuke is going to go over Joe in Brooklyn, bring up Samoa Joe for Brock Lesnar.
Joe's not a bad. And, like, you could have a situation where you don't announce an opponent for Brock Lesnar until SummerSlam, and then it's Samoa Joe, or even
he doesn't
Shinsuke.
open challenge.
Yeah, that could work. That could work. Joe would be interesting. I would like that. that.
It'd be really good. It would be really good. Do you think that Ronda Rousey is going to turn up on the WWE programming again then, like as part of this deal, or somebody from the UFC?
The problem with Ronda Rousey is she just had knee surgery, and we don't know how long she's going to be out for. I don't even know how real it is. I just think this is a way to give Ronda more time, because she wasn't ready to come back yet.
No. I love Ronda. I don't think
it'll be Ronda. Ronda makes the most sense because she has a past. I got a feeling it might be McGregor.
I've kind of gone off McGregor. I mean, he's
Not in a wrestling match, but definitely in some type of situation.
After that whole he's retiring / not retiring thing, I kind of lost a lot of respect for McGregor, but
yeah.
There you go. No, I like Rousey though, although I have a horrible feeling that I have a horrible feeling that if she showed up in the WWE, they'd chant Holly Holm at her.
They might. You know how wrestling fans are.
If it's a New York crowd, if it's like a crowd full of assholes, they'd chant Holly Holm at her.
They would.
And
They would chant
I don't know what her reaction to that
It'd be
would
funny
be.
as hell, but who knows?
Nah. I'd love to see her in the WWE programming, although
I don't think a talent exchange is necessary, though. Like, I don't think that's part of the deal. I think really all WWE wants is if they can get, and I do believe that it will happen, if they can get the SummerSlam logo somewhere on that octagon, I think that's all they really want. And it's all they really need.
How do you think the UFC crowd's going to react to Brock? Because they usually fucking hate guys from pro wrestling, don't they? But
UFC crowd has always loved Brock Lesnar. And it's for the reasons that I said earlier. Brock is not a wrestler. He's not people appreciate Brock because of the athlete that he is, because of what he brings to the table, what he's able to do that nobody else can do. He's 39 years old. Think about this for a second. He's 39 years old, and if he beats Mark Hunt, the 8th-ranked heavyweight in UFC right now, because it's a garbage division, and then he decided he wanted to go after the title, and they were okay with doing it, nobody would question it because of the fucking monster that this guy is. Look, he was like a hamstring injury away from being a Minnesota fucking Viking. He made it to the end of an NFL training camp, the entire damn thing. He was the last guy cut, and he did the entire training camp with an injury. The dude is an absolute freak of nature.
He is. I mean, I hear a child.
And that's why people gravitate towards him. That's why they're always going to love him. He's going to get a huge
He's
response.
an absolute animal.
And it's in Vegas.
I mean,
he's got a home in Vegas. He's golden. Actually, I think it is in Vegas. And he's golden.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's an absolute animal. I hear a child fell into a zoo enclosure with a wild Brock Lesnar in there.
That's right. And they shot him 3 times, and he still didn't fucking die.
Oh my god, that just pisses it. Why would you even try? But no, one last thing before I go. If they want a nice, easy fight for Ronda Rousey coming back, just have her go over CM Punk.
There you go. Yeah. That would work.
Anyway.
Look, if they want a nice, easy fight for Ronda Rousey when she comes back, just put her in there with Miesha Tate. She's beaten her 17 times already.
The fucking champion, yeah. Why Miesha Tate is so smug about Ronda Rousey losing to Holly Holm, you know?
I
still
can't
beat your...
stand Miesha Tate. Miesha Tate tries to portray herself like I hate all the dirt that gets thrown on Ronda Rousey, like she's some evil person and all this shit. Miesha Tate is a piece of garbage. I cannot stand me. She's a condescending fucking fire starter. She's the one who stands there and she'll flick matches at people and then be the first one to try to rush over with a bucket of water when she starts a fire. I can't stand people like that.
No. And the only reason she talks shit about, Rousey losing to Holly Holm, I'm just thinking, Ronda still beat your ass 3 times. What does that say about
Rousey
you?
has broken off your arm and given it back to you on 3 fucking occasions, and you're going to seriously get in Ronda's ass because after a string of title defenses, taking on everybody who was able-bodied to come in there, she gets caught by a fucking kick? Really? Really? In this profession? Where anybody can get caught. Where Michael Bisping is now a champion in the UFC. You cannot throw shade at people in this sport. People can get caught. Michael Bisping is a champion by knocking some motherfucker out last night. Luke Rockhold, who looked like he was going to be a world beater after what he did to Weidman. But I got news for you. I was never high on Weidman in the first fucking place. But that's just me. Just me.
I mean, we've had quite a few completely unpredictable UFCs for a while, haven't we?
Yeah,
I mean, McGregor, Rousey, and now this, but no. Yeah.
How about Ben Hendo knocking somebody out with a head kick and an elbow the other night? Holy shit. It was crazy.
Anything can fucking happen.
Absolutely. Oh, we just looks like we got a donation, but it did not come up. But I heard it. I heard a noise. Old Man Eugene donated $1. Brother Nero, Slammiversary will feel my wrath and my vengeance. All my anger will be undoing, Brother Nero. Oh, God, really? We have to, seriously?
Yeah, you got Jeff Hardy versus Nicolas Cage at the
That promo was so bad that TNA decided to parody it themselves, which says a hell of a lot more about it. They could have just ignored it. They could have just acted like it never happened. Like Katie Vick. Never happened. Never happened.
Yeah.
You don't parody it and let everybody know how awful you are.
Yeah,
do you know how awful that promo was, Joseph? I had a dream about it.
Matt Hardy one.
I had a dream about it the next night.
Oh my god!
It was awkward. It was awkward.
Yeah, it's such a. He's Nicolas Cage with the weird hair and the.
I like Nicolas Cage. I don't like. Matt Hardy.
I love Nicolas Cage. I'm not criticizing him, but that's who Matt Hardy is now.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you're giving way too much credit.
No, I love Nick Cage. I mean, he's the kind of guy that makes good movies great and bad movies watchable.
In some occasions, he could also make things really bad at times too. Okay? This is the guy.
No.
This is the guy in the middle of fucking Gone in 60 Seconds where he's like, "Yeah, we're about to sit around the campfire saying kumbaya and eat some s'mores, some more." That fucking crack-a-doodle. What the hell was that? S'mores? Really? Ugh.
Nah.
I'm a fat guy. Maybe that's why I take offense to it. Like, you can't mispronounce that. That's not good.
But I mean, like, a film like The Wicker Man would be completely unwatchable if Nicolas Cage
It was unwatchable with Nicolas Cage.
Oh, wait,
it's got news for you. Not the bees!
But it's that kind of thing that makes him, like, it's Nicolas Cage in a bear outfit decking some cultists.
That's very true.
It's just... It's great.
I would have loved... Man, I wish that Superman movie would have been made, man. I really do. That would have been awesome.
Oh, God.
Angel Rodriguez says, "Dave, you're the best." Hey, man, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
He did become Ghost Rider, though.
What's that?
He did become Ghost Rider, though.
Yes, and that was awful.
It was.
It's pretty bad.
Anyways, we've strayed far and wide.
That's okay, though. Who's going to stop us? Who's gonna stop us? Nobody can stop us because guess what? It's my show. And you're entertaining me. You've pleased your copious king. You should be happy.
Yeah, well, I am. Like I say, you can throw me over if you want, but...
okay, see you later.
I just want to say...
Don't give me permission to throw you over the top rope, man. Don't do it. Don't do it. All right, so... Chris Payne says, "Dave, Angel was just calling you a fat ass. He is a cunt." Okay. Well, I didn't see the fat ass comment, but he's not wrong. If he did call me a fat ass, he's not wrong. It's okay. It's okay. Look, I took my shirt off earlier, man. I'm fat. It's all right, man. It's not a big deal. That's why, look, going back to the video that I did earlier, man, thank you guys very much for all the really nice comments that were on there. But there could have been a lot of bad things that happened. I didn't give a shit. It's okay. It's okay. Not a big deal. Joe Martin, Dave, what's your favorite? Joe Martin, look, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but I don't want to have a conversation about Muhammad Ali with a 15-year-old. No offense. Don't take it the wrong way. But a 60-year-old wouldn't want to have a conversation with me about Muhammad Ali. I mean, fuck. Jesus Christ. Just saying. But I don't know. Frazier. Any of the Frazier fights were great. Of course, him and George Foreman was amazing. So you got that too. So, all right. Let's go ahead and... take some more calls. If you guys want to get your voice heard on Brock Lesnar, UFC, WWE, or anything else that you might have on your mind at this point, go ahead and call in right now on Skype, David Vancura, DAVIDVANCURA, or use the number 702-751-2902. Go ahead and call in, and we'll take your calls, your questions, your concerns, your quotes, your quips, your hopes, your dreams, your loves, your hatreds, and anything else that you might have. I'll take a sonnet. If you have a sonnet, I'll take a sonnet. I'll take a haiku. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Whatever you got, I'll take it. All right? Speaking of which, we got ourselves a call. Enrique Vieira, you're live with Dead on Dave. What you got? Enrique? Can you hear me? Enrique.
Hello?
Oh, Enrique, there you are, Enrique Vieira. What you got for me?
Do you think that Goldberg will come back and fight Brock Lesnar or somebody?
No, I don't. Goldberg's 50. And I'm not even being facetious here. He's actually 50. He's like 49. I don't see him ever fighting again. He will continue to troll the world. And if they were to have him come and fight again, it won't be against Brock Lesnar. Because last time those two fight, it was literally the worst match in WrestleMania history. And it had Brock Lesnar, Bill Goldberg, and Stone Cold Steve Austin. And it still was an unmitigated piece of garbage.
What about, are you planning on getting the next 2K17 game? Like the next 2K game?
You know,
Like
I would
WWE?
like to say yes, but I bought 2K16 and I don't play it. I'm a Hearthstone. I'm old. I'm an old man. I'm playing either Hearthstone or Fallout 4. That's it. That's all I got. I can't.
Is Fallout 4 any good?
Oh yeah. Yes. Absolutely. Oh, we got another donation that for some reason did not pop up on my screen. Who was it? It is Chris Cressa donated $1. That's a good night's dollar, buddy. Looking forward to Raw review tomorrow. The AJ Styles situation should be great. Good night, everybody. Thank you, Chris Cressa. Sorry that the damn thing's not popping up on the screen. That makes me angry. Anyway, what else you got for me, Mr. Enrique?
That's it.
All right, man. Hey, I appreciate the call. Have yourself a good night, buddy.
Bye, you too. Bye.
Take it easy. Enrique Vieira, everybody. Enrique Vieira. Enrique. Good stuff. Good stuff. We're still taking your calls, man. We got a little bit of time left here. I'm probably going to get off at the top of the hour to go, get off and watch the Cubs game. One and the same, really. Come on. I thank you. And so we'll do that. But before we do, let's preview Monday Night Raw tonight, shall we? Because this, to me, is a fairly important Raw. Raw was awful last week. Horrible. Ridiculously bad. Whew, was it bad. Aside from the one magnificent thing that we got. Angel, I see you. Hold on. Go ahead and ask your question. I'll go back to it when I'm done talking about what I'm talking about. Go ahead and ask your question, Angel. We got that huge thing with AJ Styles and John Cena. And that really is carrying my optimism into this week. That is what I'm looking forward to. Look, if they give me something great with AJ Styles and John Cena, I'm going to be pretty happy at that just in and of itself. That's where I'm at. But there's opportunity to do some really good wrestling, which is the important thing, because last week we got none of it. No wrestling. Didn't happen. It was awful. Awful. So I'm hoping we're going to see some big things. And just outside of the amazing stuff that's going on with Cena and AJ, which needs to be forwarded tonight, hopefully Money in the Bank will not just be another series of tag matches or whatever. Maybe we'll get something interesting out of that. Maybe they can even kind of change up Money in the Bank or something. Have a timed format. I don't know. Maybe you have people come out in timed intervals. Maybe that's one way to freshen up Money in the Bank. I don't know. But something needs to happen, because these 6 guys in and of themselves is not doing it for me. But we'll see what happens. Let's take another call. Jordan Turner, you're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Pretty good. Hold on one second. I got to answer this question. Angel Rodriguez says, what was the most money that someone donated? Joe Martin says $700. Chris Payne says $1,200. Yes, both of those things did happen. Some guy donated $1,200 in one night, but I did not keep it. He's a 13-year-old kid, and I didn't feel right keeping the money, so I sent it back. So the most somebody's ever donated legitimately, I believe, is $50. I believe is $50. I don't think I've ever gotten more than a $50 donation by itself. I think that's the big one, but yeah, there you go. But if anybody does want to donate, you can do so right in the description box below. You can also, if you want to get stuff for your money, like this badass Copious shirt, you can go over to www.deadondave.spreadshirt.com and you can check out all the merchandise that we have there. And I got a little bit of cool news. If you go back to the early days of Dead on Dave Productions, man, I did an interview on my Creators Corner interview show. Hold on, Jordan. Just hang with me, buddy. I'm going to get to you, okay?
Okay, no problem, man. No problem.
I had another graphics guy that I was talking to. We became friends, and his name is also Sal. Jay Davis donated $75. I'm sorry, Jay. I forgot. All right, real talk, $75. This guy's name is also Sal, and he is a pretty well-known shirt designer right now. He's always on Shirt Punch. He's worked with Everlast, a whole bunch of companies. Really good guy. Great guy. And he approached me today, and he wants to design some shirts for me, man. And crazy stuff. I am thrilled about the possibility, and so that's going to be pretty cool. So, Jordan Turner, what you got for me, buddy?
I got two questions that I want to ask you.
Yes, sir.
The first question is, what's the difference between WWE fans and UFC fans? Because I feel like every time, they get together, they love bashing each other and stuff like that.
I think there's a lot of crossover between the two,
Yeah.
But whenever you have fans that like to classify themselves as hardcores or pure fans or real fans, you're going to have a group of people that you feel is a threat. And maybe not even a group of people, but another sport or entertainment product, whatever, that's a threat. For UFC, that's wrestling. MMA fans, like the pure MMA fans, those motherfuckers who walk around with tap-out shirts all the time, even though if you punched them, they'd fucking turtle like a little bitch, So you got that going on. Those guys are threatened. They hate the wrestling product because it's fake and it's stupid. Wrestling fans, the purists, really don't seem to have too much of a problem with UFC fans or MMA fans until they have to hear that it's fake and stupid garbage. So I don't know. It's an interesting thing. But whenever you have rabid fan bases that are like that, you're going to have a clash. So.
Yeah, definitely. I used to hear that stuff all the time when people would be fighting on social media between UFC fans and WWE fans, and I just I don't want to get into all that stuff, I don't want to be involved in that stuff. But I just wanted to ask about that. But my second question is,
hold on 1 second. Rafael Rodriguez says, "Yo, Dave, is XLT your friend? He's on the show all the time. Of course, he's my friend. Yes, he's my buddy. he's my good friend. I love the guy. Yes, he's my friend. He's on almost every one of my reviews. He calls in sporadically. He's my man. Yes, he's my co-host. Yes, of course, he's my friend. Jordan Turner, what do you got?
My second question is, what's your opinion overall about this brand split? Do you think overall that it's going to succeed, or do you think it's going to fall?
Well, it depends.
Like it's going to fail.
Look, it's a good and bad thing. This is Schrodinger's cat, man. We're not going to know until the box is open whether the cat's fucking dead or not. We're just not going to know. That's the thing. It probably is going to be good. And I say that rather optimistically. It seems like they're going into it fresh-minded. They're going into it kind of like how it was at the beginning when it first started, where you had dedicated GMs that really cared about the brand. When it got watered down and it became like Teddy Long and John Laurinaitis and all of that stuff, Big Johnny and playa, it just kind of it lost its luster. There was too much crossover, but if they keep it dedicated, it should be fine. But here's why it's different, and here's why it doesn't matter as much. Because for the first time ever, SmackDown is live. SmackDown being live is way bigger than the brand split, because whether or not the brand split works or not, you can always fix it. If the brand split falters, you can fix that. You can make changes.
Yes, you can.
But the fact that it's live, that SmackDown is live, it's a fucking potential game changer.
Yeah, but isn't it weird that SmackDown is 2 hours and then Raw is still going to continue to be 3 hours?
Well, that's kind of another cool thing about this. I feel that with SmackDown moving to live, that they are probably going to be cutting Raw down to 2 hours fairly soon. And why I can say that with confidence is when you have a live program opposed to a recorded program, you can charge more of a premium for advertising. So that hour of advertising revenue that they're going to lose by cutting the third hour of Raw, they're going to more than make up for by now having 4 hours of prime advertising real estate on live programming. So I think it's going to be just fine. It's going to be just fine. And I think that you can go ahead and you can remove that third hour from Raw and it'll be good for everybody. Jay Davis says, is it true they're doing 2 titles? It's up in the air. I don't think anybody really knows. There's a lot of rumors, but I don't think anybody knows.
I wanted to touch upon this really quick. You know how you were saying the 3 hours for Raw?
Yeah.
Is it any possibility that WWE can have NXT go in there for like 1 hour so you can get rid of like the third hour or whatever?
No, I think you get rid of the third hour just like the way that I just said it. I think that's how you get rid of the third hour. I don't think that you make the mistake by bringing NXT to Raw and having 1 hour dedicated to NXT. I think is an egregious mistake. I think for one, I think it dilutes Raw. 2, I think it does a disservice to NXT. NXT doesn't need Raw.
Yeah, I completely agree.
NXT needs its own. Here's another thing to think about. Would it surprise me if NXT ended up coming to USA Network for an hour on Wednesday? Not live, but recorded. It would not surprise me because here's the problem. Everybody talks about NXT, but nobody's fucking watching it, man.
Yeah.
Nobody watches it because
I watch it, so I'm okay.
But there's only 2 million. There's less than 2 million people watching the network. That's it. And people are stealing it. People are streaming it. Whatever. That's fine. But there's so I'm optimistically, conservatively, I'm saying around 2 million people are really religiously watching NXT. That's not enough.
That's not enough. Yeah.
It's not enough. So.
That definitely isn't enough. I just thought about it because I completely agree when you were talking about the NXT thing, how it should be on the main show, but I disagree too. I agree with you. I think that if that happens, it would kind of fuck up the network because I feel some fans don't really care about the other shows on the network. All they want to watch is NXT, and then they just get out of the network or whatever. That's what I think.
I think that there's some truth to that. But I think you could also, you can work a deal with USA where you still have NXT on the network and have it on USA. Yeah. Also, WWE is doing a great job of adding content to the network that people care about. This Camp WWE is awesome. Swerve comes back. And by the way, how smart of a move is it that the entire second season of Swerve will be available on demand tonight? They're using the business model right off of motherfucking, what's it called? Goddamn Netflix. The binge watching. Smart move. Brilliant move. Yeah. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to binge watch Swerve in the morning.
Yeah, I love Swerve. Do you think they should be consistent with the WWE 24 thing? Because I love that series.
Yes, because you know what? It might be the best thing they have. It might be the best thing they have.
I completely agree. But didn't they have WWE Breaking Ground, but they kind of left that out a little bit? I missed that as well, too.
Oh, okay. Rafael Rodriguez says, the only reason I'm here is because XLT told me to subscribe to you. Well, thank you, XLT. Well, I hope that you stay subscribed because you actually like a little bit of what I do. And if you don't, blame Too Tall. Fireball him. I don't give a shit. Let me tell you something, son. You come over here and you talk about Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'll stomp a mud hole in your ass and walk it dry. Anyways. Angel Rodriguez says, Dave, can you put the Panda Panda song? I don't even know what the fuck that is. Couldn't tell you.
But I was going to say, with the Breaking Ground, do you think they should be consistent with it, or was it just like a one-time thing, or do you think they'll bring it back, or what do you think about it?
I think they're bringing it back, man. I think they're bringing it back.
Because I love that show.
I heard they were bringing it back. It's a good show. Dude, Shatner narrates. Come on, that's good shit.
Yeah. If you had to pick one show on the network that should go, which one would it be?
Ooh,
I'd say
Edge and Christian. And it hurts me because I like them, but that show's fucking awful.
Yeah.
But honestly, you can keep it, though. There's no reason to get rid of anything. There's no reason to get rid of anything.
Yeah, that is true.
So,
but I mean, if I was going to get rid of one, I think it would be either the Edge and Christian show or the Legend House.
I like Legends House. I actually wish they'd bring that back. I hope they bring it back because I love Legends House. I thought it was great. Jordan, I appreciate the call, buddy. You have yourself a good night, okay?
You too, man. And, keep striving and keep doing what you're doing. You're on the right path, and just keep being consistent. You're going to get there one day, man. Just keep being consistent, man.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You got my full support.
Thank you. I do appreciate that. Jordan Turner, he's referencing my video I did earlier where I took off my shirt and I showed the world, this is me, man, because I'm trying to lose the weight. Look, I've lost a lot of weight. If you guys would have saw some pictures of me from a while back, in fact, let's take a stroll. I don't know if I've ever shown this picture because honestly, I'm a little bit ashamed by it. But at my worst, I was at almost 475 pounds. I'm down to about 350 now, about 350, but I still got a long ways to go. But I would like to show this, if I can here, about just how bad things got for me at one point. Because it was it was not so good. It was not good. I'm looking for it. Give me a second here. I was in a bad place, and I'm really trying to get back to a good place, at least to a spot where I'm not always worried about dying, if I can get to that, because every day I'm like, okay, well, here it is, because I feel like I'm a walking heart attack. Look, this is how I once was. This is a wedding photo. Believe it or not, this is me at the age of 19 years old. Me and my wife on our wedding day. That is me. If you can believe it, that was me. That was me at my absolute best. I was like 175 pounds of rock hard awesome. I want to fuck that guy. I'm looking at that guy and I'm like, boy, I'd love your penis in and around my mouth. And that's not even weird because I think it's okay if you want to suck your own penis. I'm sexy and I know it. Fuck off. What are you going to do? You going to arrest me? You're going to arrest me for sucking myself off? I'm creeping myself out now because I'm stretching. I am desperately trying to stretch this out so I can find this fucking picture that I'm trying to get, and I cannot find it, and it's bumming me out. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. I can't, of course, you can never find it when you want it. That's the messed up thing. But I'm looking. And of course, I think I have shown these pictures in the past of me when I was in the Army and where I was a little bit after this. This was, I love this picture, but here's me back in 2007, right before I got hurt. And you can see, I was a little bit bigger, but still not bad. And if you notice, that man is Vincent Kennedy McMahon. I got to meet him and everybody else when I was down there in Iraq. And that was pretty cool. That was one of the coolest things ever, getting to meet all of them bad mammer jammers. But when I was at my worst, and I think I finally found the correct folder that has the picture that I'm looking for. Like I said, I was at 475. I was on my ass for a few years. I was hurt. I was on morphine, and all I did was eat. If I had any problem, it was like solved with food. And I'm trying to get away from that. And I've lost a lot of weight. But my problem is not knowing what to eat, what not to eat. I can't really do a lot of exercise. I can't do any exercise. I hurt by walking, nerve damage. But it's about keeping going. I quit relatively easily because I just want to feel better, you know? And it sucks. It's hard. It's rough. So by putting that out there, I felt that it would be a good way to kind of motivate myself. Here's me basically at my worst. This is not the worst. It actually gets a little bit worse than this picture. Believe it or not, it actually gets worse than this picture that I'm about to show. But this is me not all that long ago. This was about 4 years ago. This was not good. This was not good. I had more poundage on me then. And it was a bad time for all. So I'm just trying to get away from that and trying to I want to live a little while longer. You know, that's what I'm trying to do. That's what it comes down to. And so we'll see. You know, just putting that video out there. I'm going to do a once a week kind of recap, and it's going to be good. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it, and we'll see. So I think that's about going to wrap it up. Now I'm all depressed. Now I've depressed myself showing my fucking journey of fatness. You know, it's pretty crazy. So, but I'm having the video up there knowing that you guys are watching and you guys see what I'm doing and you can call me out on my bullshit and all of that. It kind of helps. It kind of helps. And it doesn't kind of help. It helps a lot. So I'm going to keep on keeping on. You know, that's what you got to do. Players got to play, right? So there we go. Other than that, I think that's all we got for tonight. We got Monday Night Raw in just about an hour's time. And, of course, come back here for your Raw review directly after, because we're going to talk about everything that's going on Raw. Was it good? Was it bad? Was it indifferent? But we'll see. Thank you guys very much for joining me. Like, subscribe, and share. Hit that like button on the way out, folks. If you do nothing else, hit that like button on the way out. And we'll see you next time right here on Dead on Dave Productions. Like, subscribe, and share. And as always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends. We'll see you next time. A little bit later on. Peace. Make sure you check out XLT Live Podcast, live Raw reaction show. Peace.